Hello, Empowered Woman. Welcome to this episode of the Empowered Woman podcast. Today, I will be giving you practical tips to get more clients and sales with your social media content. Yes, let your posts speak for themselves and have people comment and message you saying they want to work with you. Isn't that the dream? And I can tell you, not only it is possible, I have done it and so have my clients. The inspiration for this episode actually came from a client who recently shared some awesome wins inside the Empowered Woman School. So if you're ready to up your digital marketing game, let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Empowered Woman Podcast, the #1 show on personal growth, visibility, and profit for women entrepreneurs. If you're wanting to start believing in yourself, giving yourself permission to succeed, and let your voice be heard to make an impact in the world as an entrepreneur, this is the place for you. I am so glad that you're here. My name is Marta Spurk, and I'm your host, triplet mom, woman empowerment coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. Welcome again, and let's dive into today's episode.
Happy March. So excited to start this month celebrating Women's International Day, Women's History Month, which for me, empowering women is what I do all year long anyways. But hey, if that's what people out there call it, this is the month. We're going to celebrate the month and we're going to milk it. And I have been spotlighting my clients, the members of the Empowered Woman School, daily, talking about what I love about them the most, sharing a little bit of their business. And I've really found it to be, especially with the summit and then the showcase that I did the last couple of months, something that I want to keep permanently in my business is shouting these women out, because over and over again, they tell me, you don't know how much this means to me. I have had mentors in the past. They would never do this. And I'm just so grateful, so appreciative of it. And to me, it's like, really? That's a no-brainer. But I got to tell you that a couple years ago, I probably would have not been in this mindset because of not being in the abundance space, right? And being in the competition space and the scarcity mindset of, God forbid, somebody hires my client and not hires me. But now I understand there's enough to pass around, my friends. And I've learned this from my mentors. And this is what I hope to pass along to my clients too. One of my amazing mentors, Rebecca Lima, who's been here on the show, this is what she does. She's always getting her clients to hire each other. And whenever she knows she can't help someone, she will refer them to somebody else. And that is just amazing and something amazing to teach other people, especially as a coach. And so, if anything, I want to lead by example by helping people empower each other. And because if we don't do it, who's going to do it for us, right? And social proof works and is amazing. And who doesn't like being recognized and validated? I always talk about us learning to validate ourselves. That compliments and recognition from somebody else is just a bonus, but that doesn't mean that it's not nice. It really is. And I am so excited to be doing that. And so, of course, here is the invitation. If you're looking to be loved on, to be recognized, to be spotlighted, showcased, and if you're ready to take your business to the next level, then you've got to join us in the Empowered Woman School. I'm having amazing conversations with women daily, and I know that it's my mindset and the way that I'm learning to position myself too, that out of, several conversations that I have daily, someone is always joining the membership. And I am so grateful. And I got to say that even with a hard month of February that it was, with a lot up in the air, with my husband getting injured and my parents not being able to come visit, I was still able to welcome 7 amazing new members in the school without a proper launch. And that is something that I just was not expecting. And it was one of the most effortless months of enrollments for me in my business, really, because it just happened naturally and organically. And this is what I want to talk to you about today, is how to use your content to really back you up when you're having those connections, when you're meeting with people, either via DM or on Zoom. You have to have solid, consistent content to keep those people engaged so that there's something to back you up before and after your conversations. And this is what I mean by getting more clients and getting more sales with your social media content. Yes, you still have to have conversations, but you have to have amazing content too. You have to be present, right? But that doesn't mean you have to be on there day and night. You just have to have a plan and have a strategy. And this is all that I'm all about. But so I just wanted to cover those bases, say that I'm excited about this month and all the spotlighting that I'm doing. If you're following me on social media, you're seeing I'm posting a cute little video graphic about each of my members daily. And it's been so fun to see their reaction and also see their friends and their audience commenting on it and saying, yes, she's amazing. Oh, she changed my life. And it's just such an ego booster. I love it. And another thing that I have coming up that I'm super excited about, of course, International Women's Day officially is Monday, the 8th. And I have a surprise. I'm coming up with something amazing. I'm actually doing a little celebration inside my Facebook group, the Empowered Woman Community. So I invite you to join us. So it's going to be on the 8th at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm going to be doing a training talking about empowerment marketing, how to create content that both nurtures your audience, but also gives them some tough love. So talking about these two sides of the spectrum and how you can leverage that in your content. And I'll also be doing some giveaways. So if you want to be encouraged and empowered and celebrate International Women's Day, join us in my Facebook group. I'll put the link in the show notes, but if you just go to Facebook and search Empowered Women Community, you will find it and you can join us there. So that's something exciting that's coming up. And like I mentioned, I need to celebrate my wins more because it's been such a turbulent few weeks. I realized more and more things that I already know, but I tend to be really hard on myself. I tend to be impatient with myself, and it's things that we all are, right? I see this in clients, and I have to remind them, you're doing amazing. Look how far you've come. But it's important to have mentors and people that will remind you of that. Nobody is completely off the hook when it comes to these discouraging feelings. And I've heard this from several of my mentors. We all will have those moments of self-doubt and insecurities, but it's your reaction and it's your reaction time that really improves with time, right? As you learn to believe in yourself and also as you surround yourself with amazing people that will keep reminding you. And this is what my clients do for me too, not just my mentors, but my clients. They remind me constantly that I'm doing something great, that I'm causing impact, that I'm making a difference. And I will say, for selfish reasons too, that this spotlighting, this showcasing lifts me up too, because it's not just me, this lonely voice in the desert, in this, empty room. It's me and these other women who have believed in my vision and who have benefited from my vision coming to pass. So super excited about all that. And one of the things that I shared this week in terms of learning to celebrate myself a little bit more, which is hard, even though I encourage people to celebrate themselves all the time. You think that it would come easy. But, we're all imperfect. We all struggle. And it's in this vulnerability that I believe there's lots of potential for people to connect with you. I mean, I've been talking about this, right? It's in you getting vulnerable with yourself that you're able to be vulnerable with your content. And that's how people connect with you. And so I remember when I first started my business with network marketing, which if you've been long around, you know that. I started with Beachbody November of 2016. And this idea of creating a team of a group of amazing women that supports each other sounded like just a dream. It was just that vision that I had in my heart. And I went to my very first in-person event with Beachbody, and it just felt amazing because it was just a confirmation of me starting my own business, following my dream, building my business one step at a time. And that doesn't mean that it was all a dream, right? I ran into so many roadblocks. Sometimes things worked, sometimes things didn't. Then I ended up starting this amazing show. Can you believe it's been almost 3 years? It's insane. And branching off on my own with my own coaching, things starting to grow. And about 1.5 years after starting my podcast is when I started hosting my in-person events, the Empowered Woman Workshop. And women actually showed up. Anytime that I start getting discouraged, I just think back to how I organized these 3 events before the shutdown of everything with the pandemic. I put all of that stuff on my own. I put it all together on my own. And I had 30 plus women show up every single time. And it blew my mind. It still blows my mind how I have really gone past the impossible, that initial dream, and I created a whole new world for myself. And not only that, but that I've been able to do this for other ladies too. I not only changed my life, I not only have been changing my life, I've been changing other people's lives too. And that's why I tell you, if you are at the point where you really want to take your business to the next level, you've got to join us in the Empowered Woman School. And like I said, $37 a month. You can cancel at any time, but I have some surprises in the pipeline if you show up for our live celebration on International Women's Day on the 8th. Mark it on your calendar, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Just join us in the Empowered Woman community on Facebook. And so let me go ahead and talk about what we're here to talk about, but I had to give you that intro there, the little rundown, is that every week I ask the members of the Empowered Woman School what their biggest aha moments were. And recently one of my members, and her name is Rebecca Dalton, she is amazing. She's a Pilates instructor. She helps athletes in recovery from injuries. She's a local business here in Denver, so she's incredible. And she shared some of her ahas, and I asked her if I could share it publicly, and I got her permission, and I was just blown away by what she said, because I'm always talking about the 3 steps, the 3 things, the 3 tips, and she went ahead and made this amazing post in our private group with her own 3 steps, because they were her own takeaways. And I was like, you know what? Instead of me coming up with the 3 steps, I am just going to borrow them from my clients. And she learned it from me and paraphrased it and did an amazing job. So she said, I learned 3 awesome things from the Engage to Serve Summit, which is the summit that I ran the last week of January, and the Empowered Women School, which we call TEWS for short, and from the TEWS meetings that have really changed my non-existent social media game. So here's where the tips come in to help you with your social media game, with your digital marketing, if it needs improving, whether it's existent or non-existent, like in her case. So tip number 1, write this down. Instead of batching or planning your content yearly, which just feels totally overwhelming, and I completely agree, have a monthly theme to focus on. It keeps you on track to share your expertise with wiggle room to address other things as they come up. And I love that she said that, because this was my struggle for so long, was, you see all these people with content calendars and all this stuff, and I was never able to adjust to any of that stuff. And I thought I was broken. I thought there was something wrong with me, because I'm so spontaneous and I like talking about what's going on in my brain, what's going on in my community. I don't want to batch for light years ahead of time. And I love that she said that. When you plan ahead for a month, you create a theme, and it gives you wiggle room to add in some stuff, especially if you're implementing the techniques that I teach in the Empowered Women School, which is the Engage to Serve method. You're involving your audience. You're asking their input. So you are depending on their answers to create some of your content. So you do want to give yourself this wiggle room. So this is tip number 1. Have you been doing that with your content? Have you been picking a theme for your month or even for your weeks? That is so extremely helpful. And this is what I teach inside the Empowered Woman School, and also in my free masterclass. If you want a little taste, if you want to learn a little bit more about this technique, you can just go to marjasburke.com and you will find my masterclass. You can register and watch it instantly. So that's tip number 1, picking a theme for the month. Tip number 2, use a set font, color scheme, or visual theme that immediately associates to your brand or business in people's minds. Genius, right? This is something that I have been doing. I haven't specifically talked about this recently, but she caught on, and she's doing an amazing job. In fact, you should go look her up. I will put the link in the show notes for her Instagram as well. But I'll be spotlighting and showcasing her pretty soon here, since I'm showcasing all of my members throughout the month. She's using that, and it looks so cohesive, especially for Instagram. It looks nice. But you can repurpose it. I'm the repurposing queen, right? So you can repurpose it for Facebook. You can post it on Twitter. You can post it on LinkedIn. You can use it for Pinterest if you use the right dimensions. In fact, I have been up in my Pinterest game too, now that I have a VA. So that's been helpful too. So yeah, create a visual theme for your brand, which makes your life easier. Just like creating a theme for your month makes your life easier. Create a theme for your brand. And then her final tip is social media is social. Duh. Instead of just posting info, ask questions to engage people in your posts, which is what I'm always talking about, which is why I called my method the engage to serve method. If you truly, truly want to serve people, you have to listen to them, to listen to what they need from you, not just vomit information, which we're so passionate about our content. That's why we vomit, but we don't understand that's not being helpful to ourselves. We're not helping ourselves when we do that kind of stuff. So then she says, the win here is that by using these 3 things, I was able to set a theme for February, which is the past month. We're, reflecting on the aha moments for February, and her theme was posture as self-love, since she works with posture in her work. The next win, created a posture love template to use for all related posts this month. So again, making the work a lot easier on her. And she said, I posted 13 times in February. I have had folks interacting with my posts too, which is super fun. And what was even more amazing is that when I posted that, she commented on my post and gave me a little bit of an update, saying what how many posts she had meant. So she said the final count for my social media posts in February was 27 posts. So she posted 27 times, but it's not like she was taking 3 million hours because she actually had a plan. And she said, check this out. I booked a new client specifically from these posts and had enough confidence in my social media campaign to throw out an offer for initial assessment. Small things, big changes. So my friends, bottom line, this stuff works. The Engage to Serve method works because it's about you getting vulnerable with yourself, finding your vulnerability, which is the self-confidence, which is trusting yourself enough to ask people questions and know that you can serve them if they say they want to hear about something specific. Because I think a lot of it too, a lot of the resistance with us asking questions and wanting to involve our audience is because we don't want to change our agenda or what we want to talk about. But if you're really coming from a place of service, you're going to be willing to make some changes. And that's another thing that I shared recently too. I shared a post saying, remember that when you're thinking about giving up, you're doing a disservice to someone out there. And this is not meant to be a guilt trip, to make you feel guilty and then get your back up and keep going. No, this is meant in the sense of if you really want to see people transformed, if you really know you have a gift and you have this passion to teach on a specific topic, even when you're discouraged, you're going to get your booty up. You're going to stop the pity party and you're going to show up. Isn't that what it is? Which goes back to what I was just saying. I'm so hard on myself. It's hard for me to recognize my wins. And then when I look back in February, that was such a hard month. I welcomed 7 new members to the Empowered Women School. I gained a new one-on-one client that completely fell on my lap. And all of these amazing things. And to me, it's like I didn't accomplish anything. On to March. What is the next thing I'm doing? And here I am celebrating all these women, telling them to celebrate themselves and their small wins. And I'm not even celebrating myself. So great reminder for all of us that we need to be celebrating every single thing. How many social media posts have you made? How many people have engaged in the things that you're doing? Just count your blessings and keep moving forward. And remember that when you're thinking about giving up, somebody out there is missing out on your message and what you have to say. So let that encourage you. Okay? So quick recap. Pick a theme. So this is how you're going to start gaining more momentum with your social media content to build your business. Pick a theme for your month. Have a consistent visual identity to your brand. And stay consistent with asking people questions and engaging them. It's social, right? It's not just you vomiting content and being the end all, know all. You need to make your content relevant to people. And how do you do that? You ask those questions. And if you want more information, if you want to learn more about it, check out my masterclass or just freaking join the Empowered Women School. What are you waiting for? We're an amazing community. And if you want to learn more about the Empowered Women School, I invite you not only to come to my International Women's Day celebration on Monday, but I also have a showcase coming up. I'll be talking more about that next week, but it's going to be on the 15th at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm interviewing 3 more of my clients, and it's going to be amazing. And I'll also be sharing a little bit more about empowerment and empowerment marketing, which is really what I'm doing with you here. I'm empowering you to continue on sharing your message, and I am showing you how to empower your audience with your message so that they will be encouraged to do what you're teaching them in whatever industry, in whatever space you're in. Okay? Oh, I hope this was helpful. I love sharing this encouragement because I encourage myself too. Thanks for tuning in today. I talked about a whole lot of different resources today. So go on ahead, check the show notes, go and watch my masterclass to learn more about the step-by-step of the Engage to Serve method to start getting more clients and sales with your social media content. Don't forget to join us, International Women's Day celebration on Facebook in my Facebook group. The link is in the show notes as well. And of course, to have it all, to take advantage of it all, join us in the Empowered Woman School. I hope to see you there. Until next time, bye.